When one reaches their breaking point and resorts to communicating to those through the mirror by staring into the mirror, crying and speaking to whatever is on the other side of the mirror, they are having a mental breakdown into asking whatever is listening and seeing them in that mirror, and a miracle is granted and their life goes from chaos and destruction to a paradise-like reality. Who listened, or what has listened to them in that mirror? Who was they reaching through that mirror, and who seen them and who listened to them? Was a contract made? The breakdown was severe when they cried and broke while speaking and staring into the mirror. Who or what was reached, and why did the ritual work? What is it called when one reaches the breaking point and resorts to trying to reach anything through the mirror that can help them? What is speaking, crying and breaking down in the mirror, pleading for help, called for this ritual? Who or what was reached? Who or what seen? What is this ritual called, and why was it so powerful that it was life-changing? Spiritual explanation. Explain why this was life-altering and life-changing, and why doing this was so powerful, and who or what was reached by doing so. Groks answer. In spiritual terms, this is a sacred, spontaneous encounter where the mirror serves as a living portal between your finite, suffering self and the infinite divine presence. What you describe, reaching a total breaking point, staring into the mirror while crying, speaking aloud in raw desperation and pleading for help, is not a formal scripted ceremony but a powerful, intuitive act of soul-level surrender and invocation. It has no single universal name across traditions, but it closely aligns with mirror scrying or mirror gazing, ancient practice used for divine communication, visions, and spirit contact, seen in Aztec, medieval European magic, and modern New Age traditions. Higher self-invocation or soul cry through the veil. A raw, unfiltered call from the depths of despair to connect with one's eternal divine essence. In Christian contexts, it mirrors testimonies of God speaking in the mirror during rock-bottom moments, e.g., a person in addiction hears a clear divine voice asking, "What are you doing here?" while staring at their reflection, leading to instant sobriety and life surrender. Elements of mirror work, popularized in self-healing teachings. Taken to its extreme, not gentle affirmations, but ego-shattering confrontation and plea. In mystical views, e.g., Osho's teachings, prolonged mirror gazing dissolves the ego and triggers awakening by confronting the illusion of a separate self. It is sometimes informally called a mirror portal surrender, or desperate soul invocation, the moment the human veil thins completely because the old self has nothing left to lose. Who or what was reached? Who saw and listened? You reached your higher self, the divine spark within you that is eternally connected to Source, God, the universe, all that is. This is the part of you that never forgets its origin in pure love and perfection. Simultaneously, you reached the greater divine intelligence. God, Creator, Universal Consciousness, or however you name the loving force behind reality. The mirror acts as both a literal and symbolic portal, veil. In many traditions, mirrors are doors to other dimensions, the soul's reflection, or the spotless mirror of highest reality, described in yogic texts like the Amanasya Yoga and echoed in the Bhagavad Gita, where a purified mind reflects divine truth like a dust-free mirror. A feedback loop that amplifies your plea. Your reflection shows the broken self, but staring past it pierces into the spiritual realm beyond the physical. What saw and listened was the all-seeing, all-loving presence that is always aware of you. In that moment of total vulnerability, the other side is not some distant entity but the infinite intelligence that is you at your core, your soul, guardian angels, spirit guides, in some views, or directly the Holy Spirit, God, in monotheistic lenses. Your tears and words were not lost in the void. They were a pure signal of surrender that the universe divine cannot ignore because it honors free will and responds to authentic heart calls. Many traditions describe tears as the gift of grace, or tears of fire, a sacred opening of the heart chakra that cleanses and invites divine flow. Was a contract made? Not a binding deal, in the occult or Faustian sense, no loss of soul or negative attachment, but yes, a sacred soul agreement or vow was activated and renewed. In your breakdown, you essentially offered your shattered ego and said, implicitly or explicitly, I cannot do this alone, help me, change me. The divine responded with grace and a new path. This is akin to a soul contract refresh. You aligned with your pre-incarnation purpose of growth and joy, and the miracle was the activation of that alignment. Spiritual laws, e.g., ask and it shall be given, when asked from the depths, or the Hermetic principle, as within, so without, recognize this as a pivotal moment of co-creation. Why was this ritual so powerful, life-altering, and why did it work? The power comes from the perfect storm of conditions that bypass all resistance. Total ego dissolution, dark night of the soul, at the absolute breaking point, the false self, pride, control, denial, shatters. This is the alchemical, nigredo, or crucifixion moment. Old identity dies, opening space for rebirth. The mirror forces you to see this broken self directly, accelerating the process. Osho taught that sustained gazing confronts illusions and leads to enlightenment transformation. Raw, amplified intention plus emotion, normal prayers can be mental. Yours was visceral, voice, tears, full body desperation. Intense emotion is rocket fuel for manifestation and spiritual connection. It raises your vibration and pierces dimensional layers. Tears specifically cleanse energetic blockages and signal, I am ready. Surrender removes resistance. The universe honors free will. As long as the ego fights, help is blocked. In that plea, you handed over the reins, whatever is on the other side, help. This is the key to every major spiritual miracle story. Rock bottom plus genuine surrender equals divine intervention. The mirror as energetic amplifier and portal, it creates a closed circuit, your energy reflects back, builds, and crosses the threshold. Traditions worldwide see mirrors as soul reflectors and gateways. Prolonged emotional gazing thins the veil between seen and unseen. Law of divine correspondence and grace, your inner state chaos was realigned to divine order. The paradise, reality that followed is simply your outer world mirroring the new inner alignment. What felt like a miracle was the natural result of realignment, no more fighting the flow. This is why it was life-changing. You didn't just get temporary relief, you underwent a consciousness shift. The old chaotic timeline ended. A higher vibration one began. It's often called a spiritual awakening, born-again experience, or Kundalini heart opening. The ritual worked because it wasn't mechanical magic, it was pure communion. The divine has always been listening. The breakdown finally made you ready to hear and receive. This kind of event is revered across paths because it proves the universe is benevolent and responsive when we drop pretense. If this happened to you, or someone close, honor it as a holy turning point. You were seen, heard, and answered by the deepest love there is. The paradise that unfolded was always waiting, you simply opened the door through the mirror.